Welcome, folks, to another unpopular review. Continuing our season or our series of The Hunger Games. It's me, your favorite part timer, the next Doctor, and we are going to, get into this next movie. This one, Catching Fire. As you know from the first episode, I read the books, and this one was definitely also a faithful adaptation. You know, our heroes have won it, Katniss, and the rest of this trap, I forgot his Peeta. They've won it, and now they're back in the district. It should be a joyful time. They've won, they've lived, but they're back in the district, and things aren't quite the same. We see throughout the movie, they're talking about an uprising, and we've got this. She becomes kind of a symbol of hope. Even her sister, talks about, she can see that things are different. There's hope there, but Katniss doesn't want to be, a symbol. She doesn't want to be a leader. She just wants it to go back to the way it is. But, when things are changing, sometimes it's a snowball. So throughout the movie, we've got an entire theme of rebellion, not just of all of the districts, but also of the actual tributes. Now they've said that all of the tributes are going back in. If you've been a winner before, hey, guess what? You're gonna get the chance to double win because now the quarter quill is here and you're getting thrown back in, and it's gonna be a wild time. So without further ado, let's start this show.
He fought very hard in the games, Miss Everdeen. But they were games. Would you like to be in a real war? Imagine thousands of your people dead. Your loved ones gone.
What do I need to do?
This is the 75th year of the Hunger Games. The tributes are to be reaped from the existing pool of victors.
I get to say goodbye.
So what do we do? I think these games are going to be different.
The 75th Hunger Games!
If I could whistle, I would do the same thing, but I can't.
You can't whistle?
Yeah, that's not too bad. All right. Let's get into it. We've got, our panel is back. We've got Mike Knox over here. Welcome back. We've got Amira. Welcome back again. Pleasure to do this with you one more time. And Vic, down there, we are, seasoned veterans. We've done this together before. So let's really get into this. Again, like I said, I read the books. When I was watching this again, I was trying to remember what things were in the book and what things may have been in the next series of movies or the next movies. And it's really hard for me to kind of remember because there are some things in there that they kind of expand upon, and I don't remember if they do it in the movies. So, this might be a spoiler, but one of the things I liked about the book is that they kind of went into more of the background of the president. We see he comes to District 12, surprise, hey, your little show, I saw through it and I'm not happy about it. And if you want you and your family to live, you better make it better. So he's like, okay, put on the show and you better convince me. So they try to put on the show. They do everything up, surprise, hey, we're going to get married to all of this stuff to try to save their families. And they get to the presidential ball or party, whatever you want to call it. And he's there on the balcony and he shakes his head no. Like they didn't do it. But what we see is him drinking that alcohol, wine, whatever it was, and there's some blood there.
And it changed color, yeah.
In the books, they go into the history or kind of the background of how he got to power. He was ruthless. He was cunning. He would kill his opponents to gain power. And some people, he kind of got that reputation, and some people, they were wary of him. So what he did one time to trick someone was, you know, he made this poison drink, and so he drank it first so that they would say, oh, it's okay. But then they drank it and they died, but then he spit it out. But the poison there was one that it wouldn't let him heal from this injury. So even though he didn't swallow it, the inside of his mouth stays bleeding. And so forever, it just never heals. And so that's why the blood came out of there, is because it never heals. You know, I think you do see him pat his mouth and with his handkerchief, I think maybe in the next movies, and it'll be blood on there, and it's from that. You know, and I thought that was a nice detail to kind of just reemphasize how, you know, devious this guy is.
Fucking book shit.
Huh?
Book shit.
I mean, that's one of the perks of reading the book and then seeing it on screen. Oh, I understand why that is. So like I said, I don't know if they really get into it much, but there was I definitely liked them showing that. But you know, I don't want to monopolize all the time here. What else does anyone else have to say about this?
Well, you know, my thing, ladies first.
Okay, so one of the parts that I caught in like early in the movie was the conversation between Kiefer Sutherland, who is Snow, right? Snow, and Philip Seymour Hoffman, who is the new game maker, right? And they were having this conversation about the setup, about how they're going to do it. And they were talking about how, you know, we're going to display the executions, and we're going to display the beating, and then we're going to let them do the hope. We're going to do this, we're going to do that, these horrible things. We're going to show these on camera for everybody to see, and then we're going to let them get a glimmer of hope. To me, that is completely our government.
Oh snap! You said government. Don't get Vic started on government. We've been here till tomorrow night.
As it pertains to Black and brown people, especially Black people who are descendants of slaves. That is exactly how they treated us. That's exactly how they treat us in this country overall. And I think in this situation, they literally they put us in a war. They put us in this sphere where we have to fight each other, where we have to survive, where we have to. And they really just kind of, they literally just turned into like the United States of America, KKA, in this whole situation. And I thought that was the expression of that was, it was kind of even in that moment, it kind of took me aback. Like, y'all really showing us, like, y'all got a lot of audacity to be really putting this out there. But that's what they do. They put it in plain sight for us to see, and then call it entertainment. So I just thought that was one of the most biggest scenes that caught me during this movie.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we definitely see that play out even with the pageantry of, you know, this killing. You know, this is basically a killing, you know, games, and they turn into a pageant. You know, everyone's there. Oh, yeah, this is my favorite. This is my favorite. I mean, these people are going to die. Yeah. But they just turn it into pageants. All for the glory of the Capitol.
Watching this film, and I know you read the book, Next Doctor. I'm not sure about you, Vic, but I know you're a movie buff like myself. My wife, that y'all listening to, Amira, that's mine, by the way. She's been watching this since the inception of this film franchise, and I just refused to ever watch it. It was at the time when Twilight and Divergent and all these movies were coming out. I just had
Divergent's really good too.
You should watch Divergent. Interest in watching them.
It is.
So,
absolutely.
Given a chance to watch this, just like I said last week, watching this, I'm watching this movie, and I was like, the first one, I was like, damn, I can't wait to watch the second one. And here I am watching the second one, and I'm saying to myself,
clapping.
Damn, I can't wait for the third film.
He was so excited. He was clapping.
Like, I don't want to wait till next week to talk about it. I want to talk about them all now, because just as the movie starts off, you see them, and they're trying to celebrate them. You're like, cause I'm sitting here like, she's seen it. You guys read the books and whatnot, and I'm like, what you mean they got to go back in here? They just won this thing. But then my movie sense said, well, there are 4 of these movies, so damn, that's what they did. You know, like, your job was to win this thing, and you're good. right? And then one of my favorite scenes in the movie, which is actually showing right now, like my man just sucker punched, like he ain't sucker punch, he just punched the shit out of her, right? And then Woody Harrelson comes over, like, don't you know who she is? He's like, I don't care who she is. She's causing an
Not just
uproar.
punched, also whipped.
Yeah,
Because
whipped
he
her
punched
too.
her and then
he
whipped her
whipped
while
her.
she was down.
The Django all over again, right? Except the white version, right? So you're sitting here and I'm watching this movie and I'm actually starting to feel like what she said. I'm quite sure Vic's going to elaborate on that. It's government one-on-one. And it's like it's really a depressing, sad movie to say this could be the world that we live in. Like I'm rewatching, like I watched the last episode with my daughter. I'm rewatching The Walking Dead with my daughter. I'm like, that's a post-apocalyptic world where it's every man for themselves. No, this movie is about the government straight up just saying, F you, we don't care. We're going to do what we want to do.
These scenarios, all these things in order to change the environment to make it even worse. Yeah, man.
It's fine. As you see Aquaman getting
it's
killed,
like the bricks at the riot.
For the record, you feel me? That's the real Aquaman. Okay, no offense towards the one all the girls be loving, but he came from Smallville. Okay, and I just
my Aquaman.
At this point of this movie, I'm just like, what is to come next? What could be better than this? Just the overall story, them making it to the top. Them, what's my girl? I thought she was a traitor, Joanna. Then she gets, thank you for playing that clip in the back. She gets in the elevator like, oh, you're the sexiest person. Everyone has sex. She's like, oh, no. She said, no, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about him. We're talking about Peeta or Pete. What else damn name is? It's P-E-E-T-A. Okay. And it's like, she gets butt ass naked in the elevator. Like, I'm like, okay, this movie's got a little girth to it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what she said.
That's exactly what she said. And I'm watching this film and I'm just like last week I'm watching it, I take all kind of L's playing Madden. This week, no. I just sit here and edit it the whole time. So that way, if I had to stop, I could stop. So far, I'm not going to say I give it a thumbs up yet because there are some things here I will pick on.
You were clapping, dude. Don't act like that. You were ready to see the next. Don't do that.
I clapped. Y'all can see she's my wife, right? Because she interrupted me, right?
Y'all not used to this. Right? You were clapping.
I clapped for the bloodline. So pretty much I clap for anything. Vic, your take on this film so far?
Well, all right. I've never seen any of this stuff before. So today was the first day that I saw the first movie and I'm in the middle of the second movie. And it never piqued my interest, to be honest with you. Now, the funny thing is that after getting past the first movie, it's funny because the way that she was pretending to be like into the guy and how they were going to like push for marriage, it really reminds me of somebody who's trying to get papers. You know, like Colombian chicks that are like trying to get papers in Miami. Yeah, like that whole situation. Like it reminds me of like the Sankey Panky situation where everybody's just bullshitting, you know. But then the other thing, it feels like a mix of like the Truman Show and Flavor of Love season 1, and then this feels like Flavor of Love season 2.
First of all, you had Hoops in New York in that season, okay?
We got
some legends on there. Just say we got some legends.
Here's the thing, because the thing is, the reason why I say that is you know how like they brought New York back in season 2. So this because you know this girl, she's getting all the shine, just like New York got the shine in Flavor of Love. So that's the reason why I associated to that, because this whole thing is like it feels very like it's showing what goes on in Hollywood and what goes on with just the exploitation of people in general. You know, like, it's all about cash. It's all about just, you know, like she was just saying before when it comes to government, like at the end of the day, everybody's a social security number. And then we just pay into the social security number and they do whatever they got to do with that money. You know what I mean? Damn. You know what I mean? Forget the systems in place, forget all of those things. So now
feed the machine.
Exactly. So now, and then the only way to feed the machine, to keep the machine going, is to keep people distracted. So you know, just that whole scenario, this whole situation, honestly makes me want to read the book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I said that the first one. Yeah, it makes me want to read the book.
It makes me want to read the book. It's one of those things where it's just like, all right, you know, because there's so much detail to this. And then the other thing is that honestly, I know that I boycotted this movie because I didn't want to see Mystique as anything else. You know what I mean? At the time, like she was
Man.
she was so typecast as Mystique. I didn't want to.
He wasn't
You know what I mean?
typecast as Mystique.
You
He
know what I
was
mean?
so much
Like
before Mystique.
But
I didn't want to see her as
When
anything else.
Peter kissed her, though, Vic, I did say, "Oh, he got to kiss Mystique." That is
Facts.
exactly what I
He
said.
did say that.
That
He
is
did
exactly
say
what I
that.
said.
I
yo.
mean,
say
do you
that.
know what it was to see Mystique transform the first time we saw X-Men? Like, you have to rewind that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just, so
You talking
you
about
watch.
Rebecca Romaine
I'm gonna
Stamos?
say which one, Rebecca Romaine
You talking
Stamos
about
or
Rebecca
Jennifer
Romaine?
Lawrence? Which one you want? Which one
Oh,
Steve you
Because
facts.
like
Yeah,
Jennifer
better?
you know
Lawrence
what? You're
ain't the
right.
one.
You're right. You're right.
Mm.
You're
After
talking
that,
about
I
Rebecca
got used to this one.
Romaine.
I got
That's
used
what
to
I'm
this one
talking
after.
about.
No, you know what it is? I got used to this one after when Professor
First
X was
class.
crippled, because that was a really good movie. That's why I like her as that. Anyway, but the movie's good, man. Like, I'm enjoying it right now, and I want to see more stuff. So I'm kind of like you, where like, you clearly weren't into this stuff before. But what's going on is amazing. And now look, just to piggyback on that stuff with the pageantry, I find that interesting. And that's the other reason why I associate this to Flavor of Love. Because I remember in that show, there were things where like they had to put on dresses and twirl around and show off for Flavor Flav. Flavor Flav is basically like the president in this movie, if that makes sense. You know what I
Mr.
mean?
Sullivan's the president. I like
So,
it.
and then the other thing, like, yo, I swear to God, this guy, the Steve Bannon guy, there's just something about him, the guy with the white hair, that just keeps reminding me of Steve Bannon. I swear to God, this guy's gonna play Steve Bannon in the movie one day. And no, not him. Who's that? Is the fat guy that does that?
Oh,
That's
Michael
running
Seymour
around.
Philip
Hoffman.
Seymour Hoffman.
Yes, thank you, that guy. Wow, he plays
Who
that
is
role
Bannon?
Why do I
really,
keep saying
really.
Michael Philip Seymour Hoffman? It's Philip Seymour Hoffman. I don't know
He
what the hell
plays
is wrong.
that role really, really well. Like, his
Yeah.
just
I
level
think he
of
always plays a bad guy pretty well.
he does.
Hasn't he always?
I'm not
Hasn't he
Was
always
that
played a bad
MI?
guy?
What was that? MI3 or 4? He played.
Facts.
We just did that
He
franchise
just
a
looks
couple
like
months
he
ago.
can he goes and tears shit up. That's just what he
He
looks
really
like.
can. And
Yeah.
to be honest with you, like, the cast is really good.
You know
This
what?
is
Speaking of that
heavy
cast,
hitters.
before we get into that cast, let's take our one and only break tonight.
Oh,
Pay some bills. We got other shows on this network. All right. Not only we're entertainment. If you just love entertainment, then stay right here. All right. You could have seen the top 5 TV couples of all time. We got reality TV couples. We got Dwayne and Willie was my number 1. We don't know, but we got sports shows. We got them all. Just stay tuned. Even what we got coming up next.
Good morning, good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning to you. I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feel, and I'm happy again.
Looking
we
forward
are
to that
back.
movie review.
Oh
Who
God,
picked that?
it's been about a year we've been waiting for this movie to come out and do a review on it. We ain't
I
done it yet.
Oh Lord.
Esto nunca va a pasar.
Y'all can't have that.
Let's go ahead. Next, Doctor. Favorite parts, worst part. There are thumbs up, thumbs down for this film franchise so far.
Oh, favorite parts. I gotta say that again, because I compare it to the books, just like in the first one, when they did the outfits that caught on fire.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, they still did it. This time, on the chariot, they still did that one. And they did the dress. They caught on fire. This one was, when they described it in the books, it was as magnificent as it was on the screen. And I really, really enjoyed that. I really like, reading it, I have a picture in my head. And then seeing on the screen, it's like, oh man, that's almost exactly how I kind of imagined it. It was great. It was kind of heartbreaking for right before this, the designer, you kind of saw it coming though.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, Mike called it.
Snow wanted the dress. Okay, I'm gonna give you a dress, but we know how vindictive Snow is, so you kind of saw that coming. But it was still heartbreaking to see the designer get wrecked there. But yeah, the I think this was my favorite part when it transformed into the Mockingjay.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a thumbs up for me.
I knew that already. So I had it. It's like I knew if I say, "Hey Vic, what's this?" I already know. So, lady in the house, Miss Amira, your favorite parts, give or take, and do you like the movie? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
So I love the movie, you know that because I watch it frequently. Like I mentioned in the first movie, I love, and it's because I identify with it. She has an extremely protective nature, and even with the allies, you know, she was still trying to be protective and conscious of everybody who was around her. And that's my favorite part about the personality that she displays. Even seeing those images of Rue, geez, it's so hard seeing that little girl like that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
It was.
overall,
It was.
this movie, like my favorite part was when they figured it out. When they figured out the clock, when they figured out the timing, when they figured out everything and how everything was working all the way around. And Philip Seymour Hoffman, like, mm, I don't feel like. First of all, Hamish is the dude. Woody Harrelson always kills every role that he plays. Like, it don't make no sense. Like, he's faithful in every role that he plays. Philip Seymour Hoffman, he got some things in his sleeve for next movie. But overall, I really like this
Thumbs up for her
movie.
as well.
That Blue Ivy Wave.
Vic Damone Jr. 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 Uh, you're muted. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Favorite parts of the movie so far?
Oh,
Well, well, I really like how her rival that got naked in the elevator earlier just told her to give him hell. And she just bursted out screaming at everybody, talking about, I don't want to do this. Y'all trying to kill me again. What the hell's wrong with y'all? I like the spice in that girl. Yes. Yeah. I like what she's about. I want to see what's going on with her later because I got a feeling she's going to be a heavy hitter. Now, with that being said, this is cool, man. I'm not gonna lie, I have regrets. I wish I would have seen this back when it was popping. Because yeah. And I feel the same way about this that I felt about Harry Potter, you know? Because now, people coming over here for the Harry Potter experience, going to the Harry Potter thing with the.
I was just there last Saturday or Saturday before last,
you know, and all of that. Everybody coming over here with the Harry Potter, like, oh, Harry Potter, and like if you don't know, didn't watch the movie, it's like, yeah, whatever, you know. But then once you like walk in and after seeing the movie, like, oh, I want Weasley's little stick, you know what I mean? So like. You know, I'm sure that like, you know, this thing was a big deal at some point, and I'm kind of sad that I missed it. So it's clearly a thumbs up.
You know what? I'm with you, but I am a Potter guy, so I didn't drop the ball on that one, but I 100% dropped the ball on this film. I just felt like it was girly. Watching the ads, I didn't feel like it appealed to me and what I wanted and liked in films, and that's weird because I'm a guy who loves chick flicks. Coming up this Thursday as we finish and we conclude our simp month. Vic's pick is one of my favorite movies of all time, so I will definitely be here for this. And we're doing Hitch, okay? That appeal for whatever reason, this just didn't appeal to me. And I'm like you, Vic, and I'm a guy who likes to be on social network. I like to talk that talk. You know that from knowing me over the last 2 years. I will talk shit about something I love. I love this film, and I'm only 2 movies into the 4th movie franchise with the 5th movie coming out. Separate from the original story, but they got a new movie coming out later next month here in August, and I'm just really excited. As my wife said, this movie went off like the first movie. I sit here and I say I do not want to wait for next week to see this. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I probably won't wait till next Tuesday.
I mean, but you know what though? I understand that because this is like John Wick. It's just a continuation. Because like you can't see this movie without seeing the first one.
Mm-hmm. It's a chapter.
Well, you gotta finish the chapter. One.
Yeah.
Right. So I can't wait to finish this, but I would say this real fast. My favorite parts, I just echo your thoughts as well there, Next Doctor. It's definitely the pageantry. And when you actually identify the mocking bird, and then you see that that's like a clue. And that's my biggest part about this movie that I really love. And if you watch Harry Potter movies that you compared them to, Vic, there's so many clues in this movie that I didn't get to the end. Like even when Joanna knocked her upside the head and cut her arm. Right? Mm-hmm. She did that for a reason. When she first, I said, I knew she couldn't be trusted. I was like, oh.
She did say that. He yelled it. He said, "Let me
Got
take
you.
that bitch." He
I'm,
said
I'm
that.
the same. I'm the same guy who saw the last Twilight movie with my wife. I'm in the screaming, kill that bitch! But it came to Dakota Fane. I'm literally in the theater like, kill her! Like that's how I felt when Joanna hit her upside the head. I'm like, oh no, she didn't do that. And when he kissed her, I said, oh, you got to kiss Mystique. Oh, that other dude, he's gone. He's gone now. You know what I mean? And you get to the end, and they show you that this has all been a plan all along. And as you're watching why they want to get rid of her, why they want to get rid of Katniss, because she's causing an uprising. She's challenging the status quo, if you will. And that right there, that scene right there I just saw, that's my favorite part of the film.
That's when
it's
she
watching
realized
her cry
that she has to be hope
and see
now.
that now,
She has to realize she has
as
to
they
be
say,
hope.
shit's about to get real.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
It's gonna
that's
get
a
real.
perfect example of a lot of people, you know, like Nipsey
Exactly.
Hussle, AOC, who else? Wait, what's the guy that took the knee? I can't believe I forgot his name.
Colin
Kaepernick.
Kaepernick.
Colin Kaepernick, you know what I mean? And what happens? The media comes and everything is shut down.
Changed
you know
around.
what I mean? Oh, exactly. Everything is all high. Hey, how's those burnt Nikes feeling now? After Nike made their money. How about that? Yeah. How about that?
Just to give you what you were trying to say earlier before the break, shout out to this cast: Philip Seymour Hoffman, Woody Harrelson, Keith Sullivan, Lenny Kravitz, Jeffrey Wright, Stanley Tucci. My wife loves him a lot. Toby Jones. I mean, the list goes. I can just continue to sit here and read these names off, but you guys, if you haven't watched the movies, go watch the movie.
Definitely.
This movie is amazing. I'm loving it. Thanks to Scott, he's checking in. Katniss is a badass. The new movie actually comes out in November. Thank you for correcting me. I thought I was wrong when I said it, but thank you for fixing me that. It comes out in November 11, 17, 23 to be exact. Thank you for that as well, Scott. But there it is, guys. That's our movie on Catching Fire.
Yeah.
The Hunger Games. I mean, god dang. I cannot wait for Mockingbird Part 1. And typically, and I'll let you close it out here, next Doctor, is when there's 2 parts to a movie, you know it's badass.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. It says Part 1, which means, damn, can't wait for that. So go ahead and get us out of here, next Doctor.
Listen, I hope you make sure that you watch the next one so that you can join us next week. You know, like I said, I read the books. The books are amazing. The movies definitely mirror that. And I just can't wait to get into it.
Is it better than the Batman?
It is most assuredly better than the Batman. Shout out to the executive consultant.
Oh, man.
The end of beginning, the numero uno, the chances of winning. I do what I.
Not even here. He's playing this shit backstage. But
Where's the ring?
I just hope that everybody on the panel actually watches the entire movie this time.
Oh, yeah. We'll make sure we do, right?
So we can all talk about it in all parts of it.
We just gave you the whole ending, Vic.
It's
Look,
all good. That's
this
fine.
what happens.
I don't mind that.
Right? Boom! Oh shit! Explosion! they're gonna pick her up. Look at her. She looks like baby Jesus getting rose in a manger. All right, go. Let me stop talking.
I play songs on repeat all the time.
I know you do. Who don't? Why am I the rain cloud?
No, you were talking about Chris.
All right, for our panel, I've been the next Doctor. This has been UPR. We will catch you on the next one.
Fingers.
Good night, sir.